Hey FleetReadyFam! Welcome to Fleet Ready Gaming. This is your host Savad coming with you a new sort of video series that we're going to be doing called Patch Note Watchout. And today we're going to be going over the patch notes that released for Alpha 3.18 today. Today is January 24th, 2023. And there are some interesting features that were added into it that I thought, would be interesting to talk about and go over today. So let's go ahead and switch over to our patch note view. So the key features of this patch note, which was very interesting, is that some minor changes to Klesher Prison have been made with this patch note that weren't previously announced, as well as some features for racing being re-enabled. They were previously disabled to have further work be added to them, as well as a whole bunch of minor bug fixes. So let's go ahead and get in and take a look. So, known issues going on with this patch still, and thankfully with each patch that's coming out, this list is getting smaller and smaller. So the RSI constellation multivariants, the snub fighter, the Merlin is still having issues with players being able to access it and interact with it, making it unusable. Hull scraping still having issues with RMC canisters. It says here, any full salvage RMC canister attached will not attach to a multi-tool in salvage mode. Still having issues with scanning, not showing advanced statistics and details. I've been having that issue a lot. It's been frustrating. Transit elevators are still jittery. Elevators and trams been having that issue a tiny bit. Quite a few different ships. The Nomad C2 and Carrack are having some hull scraping issues. Have yet to run into that with the C2, but I have had that with the Nomad. Have yet to attempt to salvage a Carrack yet. Valkyrie bottom turrets are locked and make the players invisible. Have yet personally have issue with this next one. Salvaging. Some shipwreckages erroneously give no material text and do not let you salvage. QED does not mark ships as hostile. Multi-vehicle issue. Destroyed ship thrusters will still not function after being repaired. I've had that issue. This one is one of the bigger ones that I think is actually holding back the patch, aside from some of the salvaging issues. Fully loaded C2 landed at Area 18 result in slow frame rates or crash. I've heard this issue being hit by a few of my friends in the org. So it's definitely affecting people, and the C2 being one of the biggest cargo hauling ships at the moment, that's would definitely deter people doing cargo trading, hauling and selling, at least to Area 18. So I could see them trying to get that fixed. Oh, that's another one. Cargo being invisible in multiple ships after being purchased. That's another one they'll want to definitely get fixed. Moving on to the actual bigger features. Klesher Prison is getting a minor update. Prison kiosk location changed. So moved ore and contraband kiosk into the mines. There is now 3 in the first chamber of each mining route rather than at the entrance to the hub. This is to reduce ganking at the one checkpoint where players can drop off goods. Personally, I've never had issues with ganking. I mean, I haven't gone to prisons at all in 3.18, so I haven't really had that trouble. I've never really been ganked at all in prison. Hasn't I don't feel been much point, but I guess with the higher player caps now, and on top of it, AI being in the prisons with 318, there's more reason to. Moving on, racetrack progression has been re-enabled. Re-added racing time trial reputation progression. This progression starts at the Lorville Outskirts racetrack and unlocks subsequent racetracks as you gain reputation. Reputation earned increases based on medal bracket. So, if you want to progress and unlock new tracks, you gotta be good. Moving on to the bug fixes. Fixed. Actor feature inventory. Equipped gear can be lost when player dies in Armistice Zone. Had that happen before, backspaced once and lost all my stuff. It was very frustrating, especially since I was on Orison when I was there. Was not able to buy, get my stuff back. It was rough. Character repair. After the player bedlogged offline in a starship, and the player initiates a character repair which will create duplicate starship components at home primary residence inventory. I haven't had this issue, but one of my org mates have. They had like 15 coolers for their Mercury Star Runner. I mean, they were happy about it, but they could sell it. Bunkers. Okay. UGF mission and BC kills are not always recorded. Glad to see that fix. Asperia Blade. There are replace me textures present across the front end of the cockpit of the ship as well as its weapon. Glad to hear that fix because since the the Blade, I haven't flown that ship in a long time. A lot of these alien ships, their cockpits are a lot more narrow and whatnot and exotic, so good to see that they got that fixed. Users spawn in prison with weapons and armor after dying with crime set. Hadn't heard about that one, but I could see how other prisoners wouldn't be so happy to have armed prisoners running around. Most ship beds no longer have pit options. I did run into that issue a couple of times with the Vulture. Was not able to log out in a place where it was safe to do so. Mercenary. Unable to complete security work assessment. Hostile counter is increasing, but no more are spawning. Haven't ran into that. They fixed an issue with the Stormwell plushie. The plushies are shelved in the Kelto shop's cooled food shelf. So they were just placed in the wrong place. They got moved somehow. Fixed derelict missions AI. Once a mission has been completed at the settlement, the AI will not respond for the next mission, resulting in its completion upon reaching the location. So auto win for players is definitely not fair. It's you get paid, but you don't get to have fun. Everest Harbor collisions. Players can get stuck between the inner corner of a wall and the foliage of a plant pot. Had that issue happen a while back. Glad to see that it's gotten fixed. Area 18. Empty food rack on the counter. Got fixed. Okay. Miss Prospector. The player cannot activate mining consumables. That's a big fix. That definitely, affects an entire profession. So glad to see they got that bug worked out. UGF. Korea boss AI is able to spawn at UGF. Okay. Yeah, definitely a boss where it's not supposed to be. Valkyrie had its missing ballistic damage armor reduction fixed, and cargo snapping box helper is invisible when outside of ship was fixed, as well as 2 client crashes. Okay. Well, bunch of necessary fixes there. A lot of interesting new changes. It'll be interesting to see how the cluster change either helps or hinders prisoners who are trying to clear their sentences, because it was at a chokehold point for ganking before, but now it's deeper inside of the mine. I know it's still towards the front end, but who knows what criminals will try to bum rush anyone who's potentially trying to clear their sentence. It'll be interesting to see. With that being said, that will end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a thumbs up. If you enjoyed the content even more, go ahead and consider subscribing to us. You know, we're trying to grow. We're currently at 20 subscribers right now. We're trying to get it up to 100 by the end of the year. And it would be really awesome if you could help us with that. With that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time. Peace.